welcome back. Today we are going to be working on learning how to do a 1 foot spin on an off-ice spinner. A spinner is a great tool that you can use to practice your spins when you're not in your skates out on the rink. So if you're at home, you want to get a little extra spin practice, you can use this. Or if you're warming up for a session, you can bring your spinner along, practice in the lobby before you get out on the ice, make sure your muscles are all warmed up and that kind of thing. So if you don't have a spinner yet, I actually have a link in the description box below where you can get what my favorite spinner is. It's a 2-part spinner from Jerry's, so it has 2 plates and bearings in between. It's just really great. In fact, I did a whole review on different spinners, and if you haven't seen that video yet, then you want to check that out. But for starters today, you want to get out your spinner, get into a space that has a lot of room so you're not going to fall over and knock into something, and some comfy stretchy clothes, and we can get started. Now I'm right-handed, I spin counterclockwise, so all of these instructions are imagining you're spinning counterclockwise. If you spin clockwise, just reverse all of these things. So when I step into a spin on the ice, I'm stepping in on my left outside edge. So you're making kind of a hook shape, and your right hand goes behind you with your right leg and your left hand comes in front. So you're kind of gliding around on that entrance edge, that forward left outside entrance edge. So with that in mind, our first position, I'm going to show you 3 different positions here. The first position we're going to do is mimicking that entrance edge right before the hook. If you don't know how to do 1 foot spin yet, just go with it. Learn this. When we get out onto the ice, I'll teach you how to do this on the ice. If you know how to do a 1 foot spin, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to start with our left foot on the spinner. You want to try to line up your shoulder, your hip, your knee, and your foot. If your hip goes out any kind of which way, it's going to throw your whole upper body off, and this is going to be so much harder. So just try to make a nice line from your shoulder, through your hip, through your knee, through your foot, so you have that stable. We're going to put our left hand out in front as if we were on that edge, and our right leg and right hand go behind us. They're going to always move together. So in everything we do with this spin, your right leg and your right arm move in conjunction with each other. So I am going to start with my knee a little bent. If you were on that entrance edge on the ice, your knee would be bent. So that's how I'm going to start with it. So my left hand out, right hand back. I'm just going to try to make 1 circle in this position. Don't try to go crazy fast, just nice slow rotation. You're going to give yourself a little push off that right leg. 1 rotation, and then stop yourself. And we're going to try it again. Again, we have that nice line through our left side, extension, nice tall head, strong in your core, strong in your back. Try to keep your shoulders nice and even. Rotate 1 time around and stop yourself. You're just going to repeat that exercise over and over and over again until that first position that you're doing feels really, really comfortable. Okay, so there is position number 1. Now for position number 2, we are mimicking the start of the spin where we're trying to center it. So we've entered the spin, and now we're trying to center our spin. So before you pull in, you are going to pause in this sort of open position. Your hands are in a big bowl, like you're holding onto a giant beach ball, and your leg is in this kind of hook position. It's not, I don't generally do it with it straight out. It's just kind of in a hook. So a couple things you want to be really careful about. You don't want to hike your hip up when you do this. You want to still keep your hips fairly level. You also don't want that your left hip to drop down, okay? Keep strength through your left side, so that left side needs to be elevated and strong, and this foot is just going to go, your right foot is just going to go out into a bit of a hook. So this is the second position we're aiming for. Now, a couple common problems people do is at this point their shoulders swing back. So you're starting in your nice position that we've been practicing, and then what people do is their shoulders come back because their legs coming forward, and that will really throw you off. So you want to keep that center really engaged. So we go entrance, center. All right, so repeat this over and over again until you feel really confident with position 1 and position number 2. Okay, now that brings us to the third position. This is where we really get into that feeling of a 1-foot spin. A 1-foot spin, you're going to end up in a position where your foot, your right foot, comes into contact with your left calf. Okay, so your foot contacts your left calf. You can do it lower, you can do it higher, but the easiest thing, what I teach my students on the ice, is to have their foot come around and contact that calf. Okay, so you're going from your centering position, bringing that foot in, your knee slightly across, and then your hands come in. This is the position I like my students to spin in on the ice. I don't like to see the foot pop behind because that makes it very easy to swing around and lose your balance and also lose your center. One of the things we're trying to do on the ice is get that nice circle, that centered spin, and when your foot comes back, it tends to make people go off their center. So for my students, I know there's a lot of techniques out there, but for my students, I want the knee in front and the foot to make contact with the calf, okay? When we stand up, I want you to think about taking an ice cream scoop through your center. So we're not standing up with our back really straight because that can pitch us backwards. We're standing up with our front really straight. So we kind of have an ice cream scoop. I think about through the front, okay? So lift it up, and keeping those shoulders as even as you can, keeping your hips nice and even, keeping that knee a little bit rotated in. When you're on the ice, that's one thing that can help you increase your speed is bringing that knee in. So we're going from position 1, we're just gonna try and roll 1, 2, 3, and as soon as you start feeling your body go off, just step off of it. All right, we're just gonna repeat that over and over and over again until it gets comfortable, until it gets easy. So go 1, 2, 3, step off. Okay, skaters, I hope you enjoyed that, learned something new. If you did, please give us that thumbs up. And of course, I always look forward to reading your comments in the section down below. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, then do that so you can see all my videos when they come out. And of course, I look forward to seeing you next time.